Hi, and welcome to Kin's Corner. I'm Kin. I am a licensed educator, school psychologist, and educational administrator. Today, our subject is happiness. Happiness is relative. What I mean by this is that happiness is different for everyone, and everyone experiences happiness in their own ways. For instance, before I started with the New York City Department of Education, I was a city social worker, and I had the opportunity to speak with many homeless people. They live in parks, underneath bridges, storefronts, and alleyways. Some of them for many years. One of my responsibilities was to get them off the streets and into shelters, but many refused, stating that they were happy where they were. I questioned why, and many replied, because it was their choice. Key word here is choice. Many told me they wanted their freedom from obligations and responsibilities, freedom to do as they please, even though they were penniless and homeless. They appeared content and happy, because this was their reality, their life, and their choice. In contrast, one of my psychology professors at a university told me a true story of a prominent and wealthy dentist. He was my professor's patient. This dentist was very successful. He owned a mansion, 2 cars, a wife, 2 kids, and several practices. However, this dentist was clinically depressed. When asked why, he stated that he hated being a dentist, looking at people's mouths all day, causing pain and being feared, among other things. This was day in and day out. Then when my professor asked him, what if you can change things? What would you change? He replied, I would be a shoemaker. He added that in his spare time, he makes shoes in his basement workshop. He even made a pair for my professor. The dentist felt trapped because he can't leave his practice to become a shoemaker due to several reasons. First, he came from a long line of dentists. His grandfather, his father, his uncle, and his brother and sister were all dentists. Second, his colleagues and most of his closest friends were also in the dental industry. Third, he has a comfortable and established life as a dentist with all the expectations from his family, friends, and colleagues. However, this dentist was still so depressed that he attempted suicide, which was why he was seeing a psychologist, my professor at the time. One day, this dentist suddenly left the country, leaving his wife, his kids, his mansion, his cars, his practice, and all his wealth and property. Several weeks later, his family received a letter from the Falkland Islands apologizing to his family and friends. He explained that he had to leave because he was so depressed, that he was at the point where he wanted to end his life. In the Falkland Islands, he has a new life and a fresh start. As a shoemaker, he made a living by bartering with other people and was content. He was finally happy and never returned to the States. This demonstrates that money does not guarantee happiness for everyone. So in a final analysis, happiness is relative. You can be living in the streets and be happy, and that having wealth does not necessarily equal happiness. Happiness really depends on your perspective. Let's examine what happiness is, or rather, what is happiness to you? Remember that happiness has many definitions and means different things to different people. But it basically refers to experiencing more positive feelings than negative. The general definition of happiness is a positive emotional state characterized by feelings of joy, contentment, fulfillment, and satisfaction. Now let's get into the effects of happiness. People who are genuinely happy tend to live longer lives. Feelings of security and safety reduces cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone known to cause health and mental issues. Being happy helps a person be more attractive and feel great. Not only does smiling make us look good and desirable, but also look more confident. Looking confident is attractive in itself and makes us appear more successful. Being happy seems to facilitate more friends, help one become more resilient, philanthropic, help others stay married, live longer, more healthy, unlikely to be on disability, and have a stronger immune system, and therefore more resistant to disease such as the cold, according to research studies. Our dispositions such as appearance, health, personality, and character may be genetically influenced, but they can be shaped and altered. As sentient beings, we have the power to change, a power called choice. No matter who you are, whatever the socioeconomic status, level of education, etc., happiness is relative, and happiness depends on you. Remember that life is a gift and that happiness has many benefits. So just try to be happy, smile, and the world will smile back. Please like this video, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what makes you happy. Your suggestions and recommendations are important. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.